bright idea. If we need to pay for Adobe Creative Cloud, this is what we do. We just put on the fucking mother of all multis for the World Cups for the ones coming up.
Yeah.
And we both chuck in like, I don't know,
$10.
some fat odds, and just put it on and just hope for the best.
Well, if we win 20 grand, we could get a studio.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean?
That is true. Although I don't know if we win 20 grand, I don't know if we'd be buying a studio.
No, it probably wouldn't be our first priority.
Look, priority one, get Adobe Creative Cloud. Mate, we might win so much money we could buy Adobe, the company. We'd never have to worry about it again. Right?
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. But priorities to that 20 grand.
How do you think Adobe would handle a change of hands,
for lack
of a better word?
I would just keep everyone there, but we run it. You know, that was air marks. Like we own
quotations,
but like we keep everyone employed. We don't change a thing because they seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah,
and we just keep it the same, but we just own it.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
And,
look, we're like the
and we bring back casual Fridays if there ever was one.
Well, what about the 4-day work week?
I'm over to the 4-day work week model.
To be honest, mate, after this sort of stuff, this sort of nonsense going on from Adobe today, I don't know if we can afford to put anyone with an extra day off.
We'll start firing people before we do anything else.
Dogs.
You fucking fuckweeds.
Yeah, baby. Marshall gets away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Bath Lies podcast, episode 55 today. Look, for our YouTube watchers.
Well, just listeners and viewers in general.
But I was
flyers.
Well, if you let me finish my sentence, I was going to say you'll notice something different this week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And jump the gun on me.
And you might be able to hear something different, potentially,
Maybe that's a stretch. Depends how
with the spit panel. The spit blockers.
Look, we've got mic stands.
We are the real deal.
It's only taken us,
a
year. Basically, the point of the mic stand is so you stop hearing this sound, which is, Xander playing with his mic every week.
I can't help it.
But you shouldn't hear that sound anymore, which is good. And
I love to pull on my cord.
Well,
just all the time. I'm
nice.
Playing with it. Yeah. So sorry about that.
Well, we've got free hands now.
Watch out.
So do with that information what you will. Look, we've got to readdress some mic etiquette.
Yep.
And our as you would have heard in the intro, our software has let us down today. I actually used my little sister's account so I can use the Adobe Creative Cloud, and I have a bit of a hunch that
because we're hustlers, because we're hustling. We're trying to save money. You're trying to save money.
Well, I have a bit of a hunch that with the start of HSC today, that's coincided with the expiry of her school email account and just general access to the Adobe suite.
That's unfortunate.
Well, the future of the Bath Lies podcast is unclear at this stage.
Well, should I enroll? Because certain subjects at uni get it for free. But should I enroll into a class for one of those subjects and just get it for free, and then just enroll, then disenroll, but keep my Adobe Creative?
Is that like an easy thing to do?
I can do that.
I mean,
that's actually not a bad idea. Okay, no worries. Sorted. Locked in.
Okay, cool.
God, how smart am I?
Well, let's work on that during the week.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the smartest things I've ever thought up. Ever. That's a plan.
Yeah.
That is a fucking plan.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Or there's a chance that it's just fucked up for some reason, and I can still use Phoebe's. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully that's the case.
Fingers crossed.
We got a master plan in the back pocket if not. So don't worry about it.
We're working on some logistics issues with the mic stand potentially blocking our face on the camera.
Yeah.
But we're on a time crunch today.
Yeah.
As we always are on a Wednesday.
You did a great job sourcing these. They are called, what are they called? What were the mic stands called, Cody?
Dude, I had to take a tote bag into the store to buy these because I didn't want to walk around with them. The mic stands are influencer mic stands.
Hear that?
So look, I didn't want to say it, I didn't want to have to bring it up if it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, but I wanted to bring it up.
But it's been called upon us. Armeens and influencers.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah,
Kind of.
absolutely.
Influencers of note
Yeah,
vis-a-vis the first 5 minutes of this podcast.
absolutely.
How was your weekend, mate?
Weekend was quiet, which was kind of what I needed. Ever since I got back from Melbourne, I've just been absolutely ripping. So needed a nice weekend off. I've got a similar kind of thing lined up this weekend. Keen for it, to be fair. So just cut laying low, getting some money, getting some dollars back in the account. Because Lord knows, love to tap that bad boy. Love to tap that card.
How much of your weekly paycheck do you save out of curiosity?
That's a very personal question. Good answer. Enough.
Okay. Does any go into savings?
Yeah. Well, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But it depends how much work I get because I don't always
That's
get
true.
it, my hours vary a lot.
That's true.
So
and you
if
do go
you-
to uni.
If you not making if you don't work more than 18 hours in a week, it's kind of hard to
save.
enough. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, but yeah, that's an exclusively me problem. So
That is.
yeah,
Oh, well, obviously, I'm pretty vocal about my savings not going up.
yeah. That's
Mate,
off. I'm
your
putting
bloody,
that away.
your bloody warning last week.
I'm putting it away.
I kind of, when we were recording the pod last week,
Well, I got to play with something else now. I can't play with the mic cord.
I just didn't think it would pick up your phone buzzing,
Yeah,
and it did.
yeah.
So
My bad.
sorry about that, listeners.
Sorry, what were you saying before my phone really?
I don't
interrupted
know.
you?
I've totally lost my.
You're
chain of
talking
thought.
about savings.
That's all right, it's
You're
gone.
vocal about your savings.
It's gone. We'll go forward.
Okay.
My weekend.
What happened, mate?
My weekend was good. Saturday night I had the close, and I finished at about 12:20, and pounded a couple fireball shots, and then headed outbound to Oxford Art Factory
That's good.
to watch Lazy Wax. There was a few of our friends there. That was awesome. I've seen them a few times. Very well covered on this pod. That was pretty awesome. And then last night, I was telling you actually, I went to a comedy show.
Yes, you were saying that at Clovelly Hotel. Is that
Yes,
correct?
the Chloe, as the locals call it.
Yeah, yeah. You told me that. Kind of jealous. Didn't get an invite, but all good. I've wanted to go to that because it looks like a great old time.
It was super cool.
But you tell us what it was like.
Didn't really know what to expect. I've wanted to go to this for ages. I'm a big fan of the comedian Billy Darcy.
Yep.
Big fan of Billy
Also,
Darcy's work.
We're both pretty big fans of his work. on
Yeah,
this podcast.
he's a sharp operator.
Yeah,
Billy
absolutely.
Darcy. And Will Gibb plays at Will Gibb, the ranger from TikTok. It's
Yeah.
the only way I can really describe him. Where everyone's going to go, "Yep, him."
Yeah. Do you know? I never knew this. Do you know he's gay?
Yeah,
I found out a couple weeks ago.
yeah. He's pretty.
And
He's pretty openly gay.
But the way he describes it is I saw an interview of him I saw an interview of him where they were discussing him coming out and whatnot.
Yeah,
And the way he described it was so funny. What he was saying.
he's hilarious.
So good.
He
So-
was awesome. So last night he hosts this comedy night every Tuesday, but
Right.
last night he was doing a trial show for his tour,
right.
his Australian tour. So the first half was 4 comedians, and then the last half was Will. The second half was just Will.
So they were all they were his openers.
Yeah, pretty much. And Billy Darcy hosted the thing, and he did little bits in between.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, all the comedians are really good. Will is awesome. I honestly can't repeat anything that he said because he uses so many slurs in the way that he talks, and he just is so vulgar with his language.
Yeah.
His mum and dad were in the front row, but he's so funny.
They're like a little group.
They've become one. Yeah,
Yeah, they're like a little a group of comedians and stuff that kind of all do gigs and
Yep.
help each other out and whatnot.
yeah. It's
which
good.
Which is sick.
They kind of help each other. Yeah, like you say, they get exposure from working with each other. I suppose.
and they kind of bring each other up.
Yeah.
Which is it's cool to see how that's kind of formed over the last couple months.
Totally.
I've
It's
like,
through
you know-
TikTok. They even said it. They were like,
Yeah.
yeah, we've kind of become friends through making shit on the internet. I'm like, that's
and
cool.
And then they've expanded into now doing shows together,
Yeah.
doing those at the
Yeah.
at the Chloe those nights.
Yeah.
because they do that every week. Don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. Will does. I know Will does. Billy Darcy's there a lot.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure they got the inspired unemployed. There.
Yes.
Jack.
Yeah.
Was it Jack who did a set there?
Yeah.
So yeah, things are happening.
I'll say this about comedy.
Go.
I'm inspired.
You did say that off just before we started.
Yeah.
Off air, you were saying it made you maybe want to have a go.
Yeah. It's kind of like been in the back of my mind, obviously. You know, I don't know if you guys know me that well. I'm not impartial to the spotlight. I don't mind, a mic in my hand.
Do you have
and
any
eyes on me.
material? Do you have any material prepared for?
Well,
it?
that's the thing. No, not yet. I don't have any material.
Right.
But I think I could. I don't know if it would be anytime soon.
You reckon you could rustle it up?
It'd be good for the pod.
We should have an open mic. We should have an open mic episode.
What would mean you both do
Just
stand up?
go for bit, and see whose is better. And some of it could be really bad though.
Yeah.
Like, we could bomb, but there'd be no one listening really.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah,
just
yeah.
be like,
Just you, me, and you.
just be me and you.
Yeah.
But then like everyone else would be listening.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to do it to a few people because then you could at least sort of address a crowd. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but you just stand and you can just address me when you do it, and you got to do like the hand gestures and everything.
Like, go for it.
yeah,
I would do
you
that.
had like genuine attempt.
I would do that just to try and make you laugh.
Yeah,
Do you reckon I could?
I reckon. Yeah, I reckon you could.
Yeah.
I would like to see you try. I would
Yeah.
like to see it.
I would like to see you do it as well, to be honest.
Okay, maybe we'll G that up. If
Put
you
it-
guys want to have, if you want to see me and Cody have a riff off on the pod,
By riff off, it would be,
horrible.
2 weeks of pretty intense writing and meticulous.
I might have to take time off work.
Yeah,
be honest.
to plan for this.
This is gonna be real.
Well, I think like just based on, the social circle, we could get a few people to the gig if we did one.
Well,
Hypothetically.
Whoa, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Oh, I'm getting deep here. But if
You're getting ready to. I'm getting head noise now that you just said that.
You're actually
I was
getting nervous
okay.
thinking about it.
I was okay when we were just joking about doing it on here, but now you've actually brought a real life element into it. And
Yeah.
I'm immediately nervous.
yeah. No, I would really like to do it. I would really like to do it at some stage.
Give it a whirl.
I don't think I'm like necessarily that funny, but like I would like to.
Well,
try.
mate, some of the people that you listen. What was his name? The guy from
Talking the mic.
Merrick Ross. Is it Merrick Ross? Oh, this guy went on SAS Australia and he was like used to have a big time radio show. Bloke's not funny. I've heard him interviewed. I've seen him on TV. I've never even chuckled lightly at a joke or smiled. So I don't think should be too hard. Peter Hellier. I don't think I've laughed at anything that he's ever said. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Do you reckon if
He seems like a really good bloke, but I don't think he's actually that funny. Like I've
laughed out loud?
I've actually never laughed at a joke.
Yeah.
He said.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's like just to touch base with last night again. Like the beauty of comedy nights is like once you're
In the zone.
in the zone, like once the crowd is sort of worked,
Yeah.
like lubed up, if you will,
Yeah.
for lack of a better
New
term,
beauty. Yeah.
it's easy to like just continue laughing.
Yeah. Get into your work.
Do you know what I mean? It was really funny though, every time, because I feel like a lot of them, it was a really small, intimate show.
Right.
Honestly, I was a little bit scared of getting crowd worked when I was there. Blav got crowd worked.
Did he?
He did.
But he's very identifiable.
That's what I was, totally. When we walked in, I was like, Blav, you're
Does
going to
he
get...
still have the blonde hair?
Yeah. I was like, you're going to get picked out tonight. He's
By
like,
who?
Will.
Oh, really?
Well, Will he sort of got up on stage and he's like, oh, thank you all for coming. Thanks to this table, this table. He's like, oh, that table in the middle looks very fancy. You guys all look very well dressed, especially you in the middle, mate, with the bleach blonde hair. I bet you do film or something like that, film or literature or something smart. And Blab's like, I'm in IT, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? You do not look like you're in IT. And I was like, yeah, it's fucking so true. Nothing about Blab adds up.
Yeah. He's an enigma
He's an enigma
in the best way possible.
Yeah, he's very.
But
unique.
were you super cut when you didn't get crowd worked? You would have been so pissed
I would have-
off. You
No, I
would have
wasn't
hated
pissed.
it. You would have been like, fucking Will give me.
Nah, I wasn't pissed, but like I would have loved to have been crowd worked.
You were a bit annoyed. So
mate,
you can admit that you were a little bit upset that it wasn't you that got crowd worked.
I don't know if upset is the word I'd use. I would just been like, I thought it was cool that still our table got addressed because there wasn't many that did.
But
I would have loved it.
You
to
wanted
have
it to
been
be,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, of course I did, dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking self-obsessed. What do you
Yeah.
think?
What do you mean, mate?
That's no
What do you
secret.
mean, mate? I got tickets for myself.
Big ones.
Massive tickets.
But yeah, really good. Encourage anyone to go to like comedy nights. I went to a really shitty one with Jared and our friend Ellen a couple of years ago at the Boathouse.
Yeah.
Boat shed
Yeah.
in Manly.
What do you expect?
And it was still good.
Was it?
Yeah, the comedians were all like just proper D-list comedians. One of them was pretty weird.
Yeah.
But overall, I had a good time.
Yeah. I've not really been I've been in a couple comedy shows, not heaps. I remember I saw Russell Howard do you know who Russell Howard is?
No.
So Russell Howard, he's like this comedian. He did a lot of those like comedy shows in the UK where they do like the panels and they ask them all the questions and crap. And then he also had his own show for a while. It was called like Good News or something with Russell Howard. I can't fully remember it, but I used to watch it a fair bit. Or like our family did. Anyway, I was in Scotland with my mum a few years ago and we went and saw him. And his warm-up act, not that good. It was
Yeah.
some Welsh guy, not very funny.
Yep.
And then Russell Howard himself, while there was parts of his act, I was like, yeah, this is good and it was funny. He kind of like started doing it like life coaching / like life lessony bits where he'd like do like somewhat inspirational, air quote, inspirational elements to the
Yep.
show.
Sure.
And I was kind of like, okay, this is literally losing momentum. You're like, I'm here to see a comedy show, not to get life coaching. You know what I mean? Like, where's the jokes?
Yeah.
You know, like if I didn't like that part of it, but his like the jokes itself were good, but I do think maybe the fact that I wasn't as engaged was because the opener wasn't very good, and I didn't like the opener.
Interesting.
But
Interesting.
during that show, something crazy fucking happened.
What happened?
Like fucking crazy happened. So it's in this big arena in Glasgow, and the stage is like right in the center, and the seating goes all around, kind of thing. And like the show's happening, and kind of to the very top, I remember to the left, because we were kind of front and middle, but we were a fair bit back. But to the left of the arena, you just hear these like two Scottish dudes arguing, and everyone's kind of now focused on that. And Russell Howard's kind of noticing this and like slowing down his set a bit, and like he's still talking, but he's like everyone's not paying attention. And you hear arguing, and then you just hear a massive, because they're like screaming at each other, and you hear that, and the guy chinned him in the crowd, and they started having a fight in the stands. Russell Howard stops. Everyone in the stadium when he got punched goes, ooh, like around the whole arena.
Holy shit.
And eventually security comes, stops it, and Russell Howard's literally going, that has never happened ever in one of my shows. He goes, only in Glasgow. He's like, I've never played anywhere else where there's literally been a fight in the stadium.
That's insane.
Yeah, crazy.
Did he lose his momentum or did he?
Yeah,
get
he
back
had to.
into it?
He was honestly, he had when all this commotion started happening, he'd just started doing a bit, like the start of a new bit, and he was probably about halfway through it, and he just went, well, I've got to ditch that because there's no point in me going back to the joke. So he just went,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, that's never happened. It's completely thrown me. And everyone was kind of going, fair enough, no one was really listening anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
It would have just
Yep.
crashed and burned. So, yeah, it was very interesting.
It was, yeah, totally. I think watching comedians sort of navigate like, because they're kind of working with a very like live environment, right? Like obviously they're doing live comedy, like that's how it works. But what I mean is like they're kind of working and going off like the reactions of the crowd and like what, like if they're going for dark humor and that's not hitting and they've got to revert to something else. But I don't know. Last night they seemed to be like they were trialing a lot of stuff, a lot of the comedians.
Yeah.
So it was funny because they'd sometimes say something and no one would laugh, and then they'd go, oh, well, I'm never using that one again. And
Yeah.
then everyone would laugh.
Yeah, okay.
Which was kind of funny. It was like, you probably won't use that joke again, but he still got a laugh out of everyone.
Yeah.
So
That's a smart way to do
interesting.
it.
But it was so much fun. I had a great time, great Tuesday night.
But I feel like the comedians that are obviously like top level comedians, you know, when they find that groove of what they're like, not niche necessarily, but like their style of comedy. Like if you're gonna look at like all the people who've like known as being like some of the best stand-ups, like obviously like you got like Jerry Seinfeld, Ricky Gervais, Jimmy Carr, Frankie Boyle,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, like that, like Eddie Murphy, like people who are become mega famous from stand-up. They don't really trial much. They kind of just they get to
Totally.
they find their form.
Totally.
You know?
Well, these guys were trialing. This was like I said, it was a very small show. So like I'm sure these large comedians have trialed that stuff, but they wouldn't be doing it like on their Netflix specials. Obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what Will Gibbs' thing was last night. It was like a trial run for his tour. So
On home turf.
on home turf.
Yeah, right.
Beauty. Yeah, that's about it for me from this weekend.
Yeah, that was I enjoyed that. I want to go next. Next time if you J up to go, you know what we can get if we go?
What's up?
Indian kebab for dinner
Where from?
because it's in Clovelly.
Is it?
That
I've never had it.
no, the Indian kebab place
Yeah.
isn't it in Randwick or something, which is like on the way to Clovelly.
Oh, it's in Paddington.
Yeah, which is like on the way.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're right.
Fucking oath.
We don't go through Paddo. We go through Randwick from here, and Alexandria.
We can make it.
We can detour. Well,
can
me and
make-
EJ
no,
panicked and got Macca's on the way home last night. So,
Oopsie. What'd you
Whoopsie.
get? Have you tried the spicy nuggets from Macca's?
No, are they good?
Mate, sensational.
Really?
Sensational.
Are they the same but just spicy, or are they different
Yeah.
texture?
No, well, these ones I had were fresh. They were fucking. They were
Crispy
they were
nugs.
crispy as, and I had them, and they were unreal. Better than normal nuggets.
Were they spicy?
This was also at 7 o'clock in the morning after Sash, and I was pretty.
Were they actually spicy?
Yeah, there was a nice little kick to them,
Cool.
like a comfortable kick.
I'll give them a
nothing
try.
crazy.
I'll give them a try.
Yeah. Look, although it's not technically a comedy night, at Eagle Tag last night, something kind of very funny happened. The team we were versing, like they're Italian. They're all wearing the Italian jerseys, and they all had Italian heritage, or most of them would, I would have assumed anyway, just by the jerseys and whatnot, and
Yeah.
the occasional
The general
dropping
aura.
out of English and Italian language. But tell you what, they were not doing much for the stereotype of hot-headedness
In
and
what sense?
blow-ups for Italians. Because their team was having constant internal struggle with each other.
Oh yeah.
And when I say blow-ups, I'm meaning like going like, get over there. I'm talking like they were G'ing up at each other, like big time. And it was honestly, it was fucking hilarious. Like getting into it, getting real stuck into it.
yeah.
And like giving at half time, giving sprays, spraying each other from the sideline with a bit of genuine anger in there. And at the end of the game, so we drew 5-5 at them, and their kind of team captain, coach, I don't know who, comes off and blows up Deluxe. Like
At the team
at their team. Like blowing up Deluxe.
from a draw.
And it's a social, it's like
Comp.
it's social Tuesday night OzTag, and honestly, it was like they had just lost the finals match. There was plenty of passion out there, but it was a sight to behold. I've never seen anything like it. I've honestly never seen anything like it.
Was it that bad?
It was just crazy. Like I was just
How old
maybe
were
if
they?
you were playing like they would have been our age or some older, some younger. Like if you were playing a high level comp, sure, have a blow up, but you know, you're playing down at Kell Park on a Tuesday,
Yeah.
not ANZ Stadium.
Yeah. There's
was-
always teams like that. Well, we're talking about starting an Eagle Tag team over here, also on Tuesday night.
It's good fun.
And we were saying that we were like, we want to be in a competitive comp. Like, I'd rather play men's.
Yeah, it's good, but you don't when you verse teams that everyone plays footy on. Because our team's very mixed. Like some people have played footy, have played touch, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But none of it. Like there's only maybe a couple that actually play footy.
Yeah.
But when you verse a team who are like Div 1 in their own footy comp and a good team, oh, you can tell.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because they like throwing cutouts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Have you guys got a cutout?
We've got a cutout. We're building on it. We
Yep.
threw at least 4 last night, and I thought that would be that's our record.
Just one man cutouts or
There was a couple 2-mans.
Couple 2-man
There was a couple
cutouts.
2-mans. There was a couple 2-mans.
what position do you? Is there positions? Like
Kind of.
wing, link.
It's just like wing, middle, and then fullback.
Oh, there's a fullback.
Yeah,
Does
you have
every
to have a
team-
fullback. Yeah, you have to have a fullback in defence.
Or
Because you
what?
can kick. And that's just like the rule. You get a penalty if you don't have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Do you like fullback?
Yeah, it's good.
Is that a good? Do you stay fullback in the attack as well? I assume.
Well, in attack, it's kind of changes.
Different,
Like
yeah.
you just kind of, you just kind of float around.
Yeah.
Just like go all vibe,
Yeah.
all vibe.
Yeah.
But Nathan Rolly Bates, who we had here for one of the Origin special,
Yeah.
MOM, man of the match last night.
Was he on?
Yeah, an absolute captain's performance.
Talking through it.
Scored 2-point tries, multiple line
What's
breaks.
a 2-point try?
It's where you score in between the middle of these cones in the middle of the pitch.
If you've made a line break, or say if you've scored on the wing, can you run under the post for a 2-pointer?
No, you have to run through them.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to enter through the cones. But yeah.
Could you run over the line and then pass the ball back to someone in
Yes,
play
you
for them
could.
to run over?
You could, but someone's also got to get there.
Yeah, for
Off a
sure.
line break.
For sure.
Yeah, so he scored 2 of those last night, and we drew 5-5. And
So 5 tries to 3?
yeah, but we scored 2 2-point
Nice.
tries. Mate, he was on fire last night. It was a sight to behold.
Was it just like line break tries
Just
or what?
everything, mate. He was on fire.
Are there line breaks in Eagle Tag?
Yeah, you can break the line. Yeah, you just run.
This is
through,
awesome.
run
I
through
can't
the
wait.
hole.
I'd love to play.
It's like touch footy, but like it's
there's
not
more
as-
like you
yeah,
can get
there's
away
more
from
wiggle
people.
room.
Yeah.
You got to get those hips moving like Shakira.
Oh, there's
mate.
wiggle room.
Oh, there's wiggle. You can wiggle. I've seen you wiggle. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're gonna same as like similar to our futsal team. Gonna start a Oz tag team.
Yeah, get into it.
Rip and tear.
Get into it, mate.
I love it. I used to love touch. So I'm
Yeah,
pumped about
it's
it.
Great fun. I have to bring something to the attention of the listener, the viewer, the frequent flyer, and yourself, Cody. Not to change the subject too heavily, but there's a pandemic at the moment, and it's not COVID, it's not flu season. It's the ham, cheese, tomato sandwich pandemic that is gripping the country.
Talk me through it. What's happening?
Mate, I don't think I've been to a cafe in the last 3 years that has been able to make a ham, cheese, tomato correctly. Why am I eating wet slop? Honestly, it's like a staple of any cafe, but they seem it's the easiest thing to make, but they seem to fuck it up every time, and you pay $8 for it.
Is it a toasty? Ham, cheese, tomato toasty?
Yep,
And it's wet slop.
it's just wet slop every time, and I'm
Okay.
absolutely over it.
I'll be honest. I'm not one who often eats ham, cheese, tomatoes. It's just not really my vibe.
Yep.
And that's nothing personal on the ham, cheese, tomato. It's
Yeah.
more of a personal preference for me.
Mhm.
But I'll say this: when I used to work at the cafe, we used to do ham, cheese, tomato croissants, but they were like the only thing on the menu that wasn't really prepped properly. We'd have ham and cheese croissants in the window, but if someone wanted tomato, I'd have to get a ham and cheese croissant, take it over to the salad bar, put tomato in it, take it back over, toast it, and then give it to them.
It's the 1%ers.
So it's a hassle. I'm like, why is this not set up? It's a ham, cheese, tomato.
I think just
that-
the ease of it, it goes neglected. But it's a staple.
It shouldn't go neglected.
It's a staple.
It shouldn't. It's one of those ones where it's like, I don't really feel like lunch. I just need a quick bite
I just need something quick to eat.
with my coffee, and I don't really feel like a muffin
No.
or your
Bet
caramel
you-
slice, respectfully.
Yeah. I'm over it. I'm calling out everyone.
Where do you want to call out a particular franchise?
No, there's no particular franchise. Like I just reckon they're all shit. Like,
Okay.
and it's so like I can make it, but yeah, I could make it at home. Fair enough. Good point. I'm hearing you loud and clear. But if I want a quick, convenient little nibble, why am I reduced to this garbage?
I want
is
answers.
I want answers.
We need answers.
I know if anyone's got a good suggestion on where to go to get a solid ham, cheese, tomato in the midst of this crisis, please let me know. Reach out.
Reach out.
Get in touch.
Speaking of reaching out, should we touch base with, our conversation last week about people on Facebook,
Yes.
mutual friends? Because we did have a
Yeah.
response.
We got a response from good friend of the show, Wilson.
Often confused doppelganger of myself.
That is, you do look kind of similar, to be fair. He's
Yeah.
got a much different haircut to you now.
He's cut his hair shorter.
But, like, honestly, you guys are pretty similar looking. More like you, Wilson, Kevin Proctor all look pretty similar. I'm not
Dude,
gonna
the
lie.
Wilson one is so bizarre because, like, obviously when we're standing next to
And
each
you
other.
went to the same school as well.
Yeah, we weren't friends in high school, but we are now. But, like, it's funny, like, sometimes I've said
Did
this
you
to
guys
him as
have
well.
beef?
We didn't have beef.
Okay.
We were just in different years. So.
Yeah, right. No, all good. You
Um,
don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
But,
Sorry,
Dude.
you and Will. Sorry. I'm digging.
sometimes, yeah, that's what I was saying. Sometimes I'll, like, glance past Wilson. Like, I'll glance past his face and it will, like, look like me. It'll, like, wig me out.
Yeah, it does.
Because I'll go like that and then I'll go, oh, shit.
It actually.
So I can
does.
imagine what it's like for you guys when it's like there's actually...
Yeah, it's actually like kind of
Bizarre.
bizarre. It is bizarre. You do look almost identical.
Strikingly.
Handsome.
I'm just like...
Yeah.
I'm like 6 inches taller than him, so...
Yeah, true.
But other than that, we're pretty much the same.
Other than that, you're like the same person.
Anyway, Wilson got back to us about the
Mutuals.
mutuals.
Mutual sitch.
And he said he was told by a cop, story unconfirmed of why this had come up.
Yeah.
Come up.
But
we pried him to give us this story, and he simply refused
yeah,
to give us backstory. All he would say was, if you've looked someone up
and
on
they
Facebook,
and they have a low number of mutuals.
you will come up in their mutual friends.
If you've searched them,
Yeah. For example, if Xander searched me, if he searched Cody Bryan on Facebook, next time I logged on, there's a good chance he'd be at the top of my people I may know.
facts.
So there you go. In terms of the Instagram one, no idea.
No, Instagram, we got no clue.
Got nothing.
Facebook.
I had one come up this morning actually. It was some chick that I'd never met. We had like one mutual and it was like her old account had been deleted and this was her new one. And I was like, I have no idea who you are. And the mutual even was far-fetched. Like I wasn't even really mates with the mutual.
Didn't let out the follow.
No way. Didn't know who she was.
Fair enough. Fair play.
So that remains a mystery.
I'm
That
glad we
remains a
kind of
mystery.
somewhat got to the bottom of it. Or
Well-
have some intel.
Yeah, you could consider a bit of residue still in the barrel
Yes.
if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could. You definitely could. But it's nice to get some form of clarity. Because Facebook's never going to tell you.
Facebook won't tell you, mate.
Facebook's not going to tell you the sneaky.
I'll
buggers,
take
mate.
whatever closure I can get.
Mate, the
from
Zuck's
Facebook.
the Zuck's not going to bloody do anything, mate. He's a sneaky one. But hey, there
Anyway.
you go.
Something I wanted to talk about this week.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about it last week. I'm going to use this as my Instagram account of the week because if you're not following this man at this point,
Or keeping tabs.
or at least keeping some sort of tabs on his progress, you're a fool. A young man by the name of Ned Brockman is currently running from Perth to Bondi with the aim of doing it in, I think it was under 40 days, doing 100 kilometers a day. 100 kilometers a day.
But he
That's 2.5 marathons for people playing along at home.
Yeah.
100 Ks.
a day.
A day for 40 days.
Did he run? Is this true that he ran 50 marathons in 50 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but that seems like light work now because he did 50 marathons in like 20 days.
That's true. So-
Anyway, he's like just crossed the New South Wales border and he's kind of at the point where like his body's starting to let him down. He has up and down days. He can't do the record, unfortunately.
No.
He didn't get to 100 Ks every single day. He's still done, I think his smallest day was like, I think one day he did 20, but other than that, he's done like 60s and 80s and 100s. But it's super impressive. He's running for the homeless and like, it's so interesting reading his captions because it literally just sounds like it's written by like you or I. Do you know what I mean?
It's raw.
It's raw.
It's very raw.
It's raw. And he's expressing like what he's been expressing the last couple of days is like he's literally in hell right now. It's like, yeah, you look at it from the outside and you're like, oh my God, Ned did another 100 Ks today. Like, good on him.
But
But he's like,
ability to do that,
he's like up at,
mustering the energy to do
Yeah.
that is just like to think like if you and me to run a 10K right now, that last kilometer would be that last 9K would be tough. Be a tough one to run. Running 10 times that is unimaginable.
It's unfathomable
It is.
in my lifetime. I'm probably never going to do that in my life.
Like to run 100 kilometers in a day once, let alone at least 20 plus times.
Yeah.
Is just, it's just nuts. It's nuts. And what he's doing is so, and the even more impressive thing, although he's taking breaks, if anyone knows anything about like split times when you're running, his split times are still quick. They'll
He's
be
running-
faster than what I would run if I was to go for a run right now.
He's running 5:30s, 5:30 split. That's your average pace
Over 100 kilometers
at 5:30.
is insanity.
That's like you said. I'll probably run like a 5:30 for a 10K. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, hello.
It's so impressive. I'm going to share him on our story. He's raising money for homeless people. I've donated. I implore you all to also, because what he's doing is truly inspiring.
Yeah.
It's encouraged me to get out of my
Coming
out of my
home?
bed, get back into the gym. I haven't hit the pavement yet. Got to sort the back out. Then I'll start pounding the pavement again.
Let's go.
I'm going to share him on the Barflies
Yeah.
Instagram story. Give him a follow.
And you
I
know
implore
what?
you.
At this current rate, he will be in Sydney probably in a couple of days' time.
I think it's next Monday he's aiming for.
Which is
Or is it? Yeah, it must be next Monday. Must be next Monday.
yeah, because he was like 740 k's away yesterday or the day before.
Yes, that
maybe.
makes sense.
So yeah, you'd think if he was going at least averaging like 90 k's a day, if he has like one slow day, maybe
Yep.
he'd probably get here in 7 to 8 days.
But I feel like on the last day he might run like 120 just to finish. You know what I mean? Like
Just
he won't
like
leave.
something massive.
He won't leave 20 k's for the last day. That's kind of just a vibe thing, though.
Yeah, true. That's I'd get that read as well.
Let me get up his Instagram because he did have an estimate on there somewhere. If I can't find it, I'll just move on. I can't find it, but I'm gonna try go down if I don't have work.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try go down to Bondi Beach when he arrives. I
reckon
think
totally worth it. Totally.
there'll be a few people there.
There'll be a massive crowd. There'll be massive crowd.
Well, there's people at all the country towns that he's been running past, holding up signs and
yeah,
stuff. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
It's really cool. I've honestly don't think I've ever been more impressed by a physical feat by a human being than I am right
Yep.
now. Especially because he's our age. He's 23.
Yeah, right.
He's 23.
Wow,
Toiler.
wow,
Absolute
that's insane.
toiler.
That's insane. Yeah, it is. It is very, very, very impressive stuff. But it also makes you think like Australia is so fucking big. Is massive country.
Oh, yeah.
Like massive.
It'd be way more pleasant doing it across Europe.
like literally, it'd be quicker to do it across Europe than it would to do across Australia.
He could do Europe and back. He could do left,
Honestly.
East Coast to West Coast.
Like even like running the length of like the UK is him. He would be able to do that in like 10 days, 9 days even.
Yeah. If.
It maybe even less. Like just makes you think like the fact it's taking him 40 days to go from one side to the other is kind of mind blowing. Or it's going to take 42, 41.
Yeah, dude, it's seriously impressive. It's seriously impressive. He's like, you read his captions, like they're all like, yeah, my hips are breaking down. I don't feel like I've got no tendons left in my body. Like,
yeah, no
I've got
cartilage.
plantar fasciitis. My Achilles is bust, and
Wow.
I don't know. And then he's running 100 Ks. Like, oh my god, my body's got to be in peak nick for me to run 5.
Yeah, you just
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. You just wonder like after this like run, what kind of implications that will have on him though.
I was thinking about the week after. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about what his next, like when he stops, he probably won't be able to walk for a couple of weeks.
Well, he'd have to keep moving. Like he'd have to be doing something every day because you couldn't just like do that.
And then go
like you
still.
just think by the law of like, you know, kind of
Motion.
if you will. Like if he's repeatedly running on these injuries and whatnot, and he's doing that kind of level of energy, as soon as he stops, it'll completely overtake him.
Yeah.
But if you were to would it be better to like wind down? Like if every day he still did something in terms of like, because if he was to completely just sit down and not do anything, I feel like, but keep his body moving in some way, probably a question for a physio.
This is a vibe thing, Xander, but I kind of I want to agree with you. I want to.
Like
I
it
do.
makes sense in my mind.
In my mind, it checks out.
Yeah.
So do we just go with, yeah, that's
We'll
correct.
go, yeah, because neither of us are physios and we have no idea. But
No, he'll probably it will need rest.
Yeah.
He'll probably need a couple of days of rest and then maybe some walking. We'll write him up a plan.
Yeah.
Ned,
but
reach
like,
out.
but like 100, you can't go from 100 to 0 like that.
I'm just thinking he might actually not be able to walk.
Yeah.
Like,
I
his
hope he's not
knees-
like. I really hope he's all right after this. Like he recovers fully, because it would be a shame to do something so like honorable and like commit to such a goal and etc. And do such a great feat for not only. Obviously, it's not for him, but obviously it's a great feat for himself and a great feat for the cause that he's fighting. But it would be a shame if it took,
Had long-term effects.
a long-term serious toll on him.
Yeah.
It would be a real shame to see.
I think someone of his mental fortitude won't allow that. Someone,
No, but I'm just
hypothetically speaking.
hypothetically speaking.
Well, I'm just coming back at you and saying I think he'll be all right.
Yeah.
I back him to make a full recovery.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I hope so.
Do you back him though?
I back him.
Okay. Well, we're there.
Okay. Sweet. All right. We're trying to shoot for an hour, so should we go back page?
Do you need to cover anything else?
Um,
Actually, no. I'll bring that up when we're going to have a guest on at some stage in the next couple of weeks.
okay.
So we're going to leave a few of those. We have a lot of notes this week.
Look, the amount of notes we have this week is honestly
You can
outstanding.
move this, dude. You don't need to be scared of it.
I'm terrified. The amount of notes we have this week, outstanding.
Well, it's like almost like when I come with notes. It's like there's notes worth 2 people's worth of notes instead of one. How
I mean,
weird
there's
is that?
double the talking points. So strange.
I had a lot going on this week. Oh, actually, I do have one. Can I tell what happened with Elijah last night?
Oh, please, yes.
So
Please.
EJ very well covered on the podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
The Kramer of Erskineville.
the Kramer of Erskineville. I think everyone deserves the chance to live with EJ at some point in their life because it's truly special. Last night I came downstairs just because I hadn't seen him in a couple of days. I could hear him making dinner. So I'd come downstairs. He's making a butter chicken. Elijah doesn't get around the kitchen too often. He's more of just a Oreo sort of operator for dinner. Just smash a pack of Oreos and a couple of sour worms, and maybe a muesli bar.
He's a big diet guy. He's all about his diet.
He's all about his diet. Anyway, I come down last night. He's making butter chicken. Straight from the get go, I'm going, that thing's looking dry. That thing looks dry. I've just run my eye over it. That thing looks fucking dry. And I'm like, dude, did you put cream in that? Why is that so dry? And he's like, cream, what are you talking about? And I was like, did you put cream in your butter chicken? Like, generally speaking, you put cream or butter or like
Something.
coconut milk, something of sorts to get the sauce.
Give it a bit of thickness.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, shit, I didn't even know you were supposed to put cream in it. I was like, did you read the back of the packaging? And he was like, oh, nah. And I was like, but you don't cook. Like, how would you know what to do? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I was just kind of winging it. I thought it was just like a sauce pack and I could just pour it on. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, we went through the cupboards, found Kane had some coconut milk.
Yeah.
So we put that in and it kind of saved it. I walked down at a good time. And then he goes, yeah, dude, today, to be honest, when I was walking through the grocery store, it took me a hot sec to remember if you put pasta or rice with butter chicken.
Oh. No. EJ, no.
He's like, I had to stand there and like think about it for a while. And then I read the packet and it said rice. So I got rice.
Oh, that is fucking fire. That's unreal.
And I was like, I kind of wish that he got the pasta
I would have loved to have seen the butter chicken with the pasta.
without cream and just sat down and gone, oh, I made butter chicken, and me going, oh, dude, nice. Can I have a bite? And he hands me a bowl of pasta. I'd be like, dude, what the
Fuck is this thing? That would probably make the greatest rate my plate of all time.
yeah. It'd have to be up there.
And
And it would be funny because it'd be unironic. It'd be like, my roommate's an idiot.
This is an honest attempt at making a butter chicken. That would be top 3 rate my plate. No
Dude,
qualms. No
I was
worries.
crying. I was actually crying. It was so funny.
What about what he said the other day?
Oh, and then he goes, I don't know. We were talking about something. Kane had joined the
fray.
the household meeting at this point in the kitchen. And EJ was trying to sort of pass the topic on and move forward. And he goes, old with the in, out with the new. It's really good stuff.
Oh,
He's an absolute specimen, that bloke.
God, we love him.
Also famous for you win some, you some. It's another one of EJ's absolute pearlers. I'll try and make note if he says one each week, and like we'll try and get an EJ.
I still
quote on
reckon the
podcast.
the punctuality thing.
Oh, the like full stops and shit. That was good.
The text was the best.
That was a callback from an earlier pod. I don't know which one.
Probably like episode 29 or something like that.
I was gonna say 22.
True.
Anyway, that's it.
Onto the back page. Oh, that's
EJ's butter chicken. The coconut milk saved it. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all those wondering.
Yeah.
Anyway, back page. Let's hit it.
Okay, here we go. Back page. All right. Three kind of things rugby league wise. First off is Des Hasler. Now, Cody, you have strong thoughts on this.
I have strong thoughts on this.
Can you provide a bit of context, actually? I should have probably done the context,
That's okay.
but you can
I can do context.
context away.
I can do context. Des Hasler of Manly coach fame, seemingly on the outer at Manly at the moment, and the whispers
In the wind?
in the wind are growing louder. Where there's smoke, there's fire, they say, and it's heating up
And it's gusting through in a southerly.
in a fiery blaze.
Yeah.
You know,
Manly's
And-
a shambles.
Manly's in shambles, dude.
Context. Manly's in shambles.
Manly's in shambles. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think their CEO, I think his name's George Penn or something like that.
Scott Penn?
Scott Penn, Sean? I don't know.
Anyway.
Something like that. Something unimportant. He's not happy with Des Hasler for whatever reason. There's internal conflict of sorts. I don't know who it's between. I don't know if it's between. I don't know if the Fultons are involved. It wouldn't shock me if they were.
Yeah. Look, it's pretty much all
But what they
it's
said,
all attributed to the incident that was we won't go through it again, but it was like pretty well covered.
the Pride incident,
The Pride
jersey.
jersey scandal or saga. And ever since that game, pretty much the whole Manly team
They didn't win a game.
they didn't win a game. There was complete disarray in the playing group, obviously.
There was Des Hasler had a clause in his contract that if they finished in the top 6, he automatically got another year on his coaching
Gig?
coaching contract.
Yeah.
So he's contracted till the end of 2024.
Yeah. No, 2023 with the option being for 2024.
Yes, if they finish top 6.
And what he's saying is that due to the club's actions and not
Yep. Not consulting him.
not consulting him and the team is the reasons contributing to why they didn't finish in the top 6, because I think at the time they were 8th.
Yep. So it's totally fair.
Well,
I
they
don't
were
think they were
9th
going
or
to finish.
8th.
I don't think they were going to finish in the top 6. But that's by the by.
Yeah.
It's still absolutely imploded their season.
Yeah. So he's trying to argue that because of that reason that they can't actually because it was ultimately he's blaming them as it was their actions that contributed to the downfall of the season when that's not really true.
Yeah.
Well, I can see his point, but I don't agree. I still think it's directly the players involved and their views that ultimately became the downfall of the team. Like the initiative that it was a good idea. But that is what they're saying pretty much.
I kind of agree with him, to be honest. I agree with you that the initiative was correct, but obviously the way they went about it was not right at all. I don't know if when they did it they were intending to totally drive a wedge between the playing group. But yeah, I don't know, a very bizarre situation. At the end of the day, it cost them their season. And now Des Hasler, it's looking, I think it's pretty much all but confirmed he's not coaching 2024, and 2023
This is going to be
is in
last
doubt.
year.
No, not only that, but it's in doubt that he'll even be there round 1.
Well, this is the thing. Like, if it's that toxic and that cold between you guys, not you and Des, but like between the club board and Des Hasler, why would Des stay? But at the same time, if he leaves, then he forgoes his contract. So it's like the club have to get rid of him because if Des just quits or resigns, then he forgoes obviously the probably pretty comfortable salary that he's sitting on.
Yeah.
I'd assume.
Yeah. And like the what they're giving to the media, what Manly are presenting to the media is that they've got a premiership winning roster, and now they just need a premiership coach to put it in place. And they're wanting to bring in, I think Anthony Seibold is their sort of number one target, which is just totally bizarre to me. Des is
Proven.
he pulled Manly out of the mud, dude.
He took the Bulldogs to a grand final as well.
He did leave them in the mud the first time round.
He left
But
the
since-
Bulldogs in the mud also.
as well. So like there's that. But since he's been back at Manly, he dragged them. Weren't they in the bottom 8 pretty comfortably?
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah.
And they've gone finals, and then this year obviously that happened. So they obviously want him out for whatever reason. I'm glad I'm not a Manly fan. Put it that way.
Absolutely.
And that's coming from a Tigers fan.
Well, speaking of Manly, being a Manly fan, a lot of Manly fans were ex-North Sydney Bears fans, and that's our next point.
Yes, it is.
Segue of the year. Okay, this is my problem with the North Sydney Bears, because obviously there's 17 teams in the NRL now with the Dolphins coming in, and they don't want to have bye weeks. Bye weeks are bad for business,
Yep.
right? So they want to have an 18th team, and they want one kind of quick.
Do we have 3 buys now? Every team?
Yep, that'll probably be right, I'd say. So, like, everyone, okay, they want a new team reasonably quickly, I'd say. And again, North Sydney Bears, once great club in the NRL, disbanded, and now, well, that's always been around, but they play in like the lower leagues. So there's a talks for a proposal to bring them back into the league. My problem with this is it necessary to have another team in Sydney? Like, do we need another team? We have so many. Like, or even just like a New South Wales team in general. Like, half the comp is from New South Wales. You know? Like, like, you could even ask the question, like, as much as the Bulldogs are a pretty historic club, but like, they literally sit in between 4 other teams, like, territories.
Yeah.
You know? And like, do we need like another Sydney team? Like, I would really like to see funding. I would really like to see funding from whatever money they would put into the Bears be put into teams that are existing to grow the game further, and then grow like grassroots at different levels as well. Like, what I mean by this is like, think about a team like the Titans or even the Warriors, you know, the Redcliffe Dolphins and Melbourne to an extent. Like, those are teams that could do with like a focus on strengthening the team's hold in those areas, because they're not well, like Redcliffe maybe, but like the Gold Coast games, like that's such a huge area. Like, why isn't that team bigger than what it is? You know what I mean? Like, that should be that is a franchise that should be successful. The Storm, obviously their teams are very strong. They've got good grassroots in a way, because they always have guns coming through their juniors and like bringing in great players. But Melbourne players have said it themselves. No one in Melbourne knows who they are.
Yeah.
Growing the game in that area, you know, the Warriors, team that's been away from home for 3 years and on the decline. I would love to see them back mixing it up with the best.
Yeah.
You know, growing the game not just in like the 2 states of Queensland and New South Wales. You know, I would love to see a genuine effort to grow it in other places that aren't the main areas for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think as well, like in accordance with that point, is that we don't even necessarily have the cavalry for another team.
That's what, yeah.
Like
The wealth disparity of players is already...
Like the Dolphins are like them next year is going to be interesting to watch, because like they just don't have the same.
Well, they're just kind of picking up
stocks.
scraps.
Yeah, literally, they're picking up whatever they can get, sort of thing.
At this point. Yeah.
So I think this North Sydney Bears yarn, as it is every off season, is nothing but that, a yarn.
Yeah.
They're not
I hope they don't bring them back.
No, we don't need another Sydney team.
No, it's not necessary.
I agree.
Unless they were to relocate them somehow and then play an occasional game in North Sydney, but just have a Bears team somewhere. But
I don't know. It's weird. I guess there's no Balmain there anymore, so
no.
who'd be the most North Sydney team? South
Manly.
Roosters. Yeah, I guess Manly.
I think the Bears are actually a feed. They're the feeder, or
For
they're
Manly,
for,
yeah.
No, for Roosters.
Oh, for Roosters, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it.
Yep.
Yep.
Also mine. So I don't think, in conclusion, can't see it happening. Can't see it happening.
World Cup on the horizon. Couple
Sunday.
days.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Who's first game? Australia versus...
No, I think it's England. I dare say England Tonga.
I know, maybe they're Australia not the first game. They're definitely playing on Sunday, though.
I dare say England Tonga are the first game.
Okay. England, Samoa.
Oh, apologies.
Midnight
That'd be
on
weird.
Saturday, 12:30. And then Australia, Fiji, 5:30 in the morning.
You beauty.
Fuck, their games are all at such bad times.
Yeah, I know, it's like the EPL times. I will say this with the schedule of. Oh, not the schedule. Sorry, we just covered that. The jerseys. The new jersey scheme for the Kangaroos. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think? What are your
I'm
thoughts?
impartial. I just don't really care.
Hmm.
I couldn't care less. I like the idea of them having like customized jerseys. I think a few of the players have been vocal about that before.
Hmm.
Like having their, I definitely think they should have their names on their back. I don't know why
Yeah,
that's not a
I
thing.
don't. Yeah.
They'd sell so many more jerseys if you could buy a shirt with Ponga on the back as
Hmm.
opposed to just most jerseys don't even come with numbers. I remember growing up, I just wanted a number on the back of mine, and you
Hmm.
couldn't even buy them with numbers on them.
So random.
So odd.
It's hard to imagine. Like most football jerseys have them. Like soccer.
Will you
jerseys.
buy, like, let's say you buy a United jersey. You buy a United jersey so you can get Fernandez on the back.
Or Ronaldo, or whoever you want,
Yeah.
or Harry Maguire.
Yeah. It's whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
just like a United jersey without a name on the back. It's like, what is that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Or just say any. Yeah, any jersey.
But like I saw Phil Buzzroth tweet this morning that the numbers are a disgrace. And it's like, dude, who
Shut
ca-
up.
like
Shut
literally who cares? I kind of think it's cool how it's like the players with the lower numbers are like the most capped. It's like Ben Hunt and Jake Trbojevic are like number 3 and 5. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I like and I reckon there's a fair bit to do with it as well. Like I was saying to you, like no, because obviously there's a lot of competition for certain positions in that squad, and I think not giving players like a number just goes like, okay, you don't own that position, you don't own that number. Like you're
Yeah.
not playing for said number and kind of your interests. This is a number that you get given for your place in the team,
Yeah.
based off your experience, and you're playing for the jersey, not the number on your back.
Mm.
And which kind of like I like that idea.
Yep.
That's what my thought is. That is what I think is the process behind it.
Yeah. There's nothing I dislike about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't mind creating one team because the Kangaroos haven't played together for 3 years.
I just heard that this morning. They haven't played since 2019. That's crazy.
and they've played 3 Origin series since then.
Yeah.
which is pretty hectic. So
Well, I was thinking
not that there'd be any bad blood between players, but like I mean, that's a long time to be competitors and not teammates for some of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I
Totally.
mean by that? Like imagine like the Panthers and Storm players who have been gunning for it for the last couple of years coming into a camp together after 3 years of fierce rivalry.
Yeah, it's a good example actually.
Do you know?
This New South Wales, Queensland, Panthers, Storm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like pretty big
Well, I was looking at the roster. I was like, how's there so many debutants? Like, how's Isaiah Yeo never played for Australia?
because they haven't played in so long.
Haven't played in 3 years.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Been ages.
Team list was kind of weird.
Team list was odd.
No Isaiah Yeo. That was the first one that stood out to me.
Well, they're resting the Panthers, all the grand final players for an extra week.
I take it back.
That's why.
Makes
That's-
sense.
That's why. I think just Australia is, but I don't think Samoa is. I think
Samoa can't afford
I think
to.
like some of the other nations aren't, but I think just because Australia are lucky to be afforded the depth that they have.
DCE got the 7.
But that's because Cleary's not in the team. Not
That's going off your point you were just talking about.
yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
Me?
You up to speed? You up to speed?
Honk. Clown.
Okay. Any EPL to cover? Haaland scored again. Act shocked. Bloke's a freak. Liverpool in the dumps. Not gonna lie, great to see.
I'm impartial to Liverpool. I'm kind of liking that they're not winning.
I like Klopp, but I don't like the rest of it. I don't like their fan base, and I don't like the rest of their team that much.
Everyone in Australia seems to go for Liverpool.
No.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I'm happy to see them kind of have a downhill season.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's good.
That's about all I have to say about that.
It's good to see. I don't have too much to say.
Did anything even happen? There's been UCL this week. As
Yeah,
well.
it's kind of like first week, like a couple of weeks back after international break, and then in 2 weeks it's going to be the season will go on hold for the World Cup.
Oh wow, true.
So that's coming up. So we'll definitely be giving that a fair bit of coverage.
Jack also said he's in for next week. So
Oh, should we?
we can talk about that.
What should we know? Okay, seeing as though not only is there Rugby World Cup, Rugby League that is, Cricket T20 World Cup, and a Football World Cup, we've decided next week, special ep, triple World Cup coverage episode.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a tongue twister just to say.
You know what we could do? We could do
It's going to be a dribble-thon.
Yeah, it will be. We're going to have Jack back on again, I think.
Yep.
Jack of NRL season preview fame.
Yep. And
Jack Filthy wasn't included in the Barflies bracket.
Jack, mate, it's tough out here. No one fought for him, did they?
What's that?
No one fought for him to stay in there, though, did
Nah, neither of us
they?
did.
No. Sorry, mate. Happens. Look, yeah, Jack will be back. Keen to have him on.
Yep.
Keen to do this episode, actually. It's going to be some serious note-taking during the week before this.
This is every time we do a sport episode, it's like the most effort we put into
Yeah,
it.
it's like I've got genuine data analytics going on.
It's like, oh, this is something I'm actually deeply passionate
Like
about.
I've actually got a 5-page Excel spreadsheet dedicated to supporting my point on.
Remember
this
your one? What was your one? Did you do it before the cricket
cricket.
world? Or the
where
cricket?
it had
Oh,
the
for the
average-
Ashes. Before
the
Ashes.
averages for the team selection.
Yeah.
Mate, that is genuine reporting. That's more fucking effort than Buzz or any of those dribblers on fucking NRL 360 have ever done.
Yeah.
Or like Fox Sports.
I agree.
Mate, can I just say, anyone who watches the cricket, I hope you agree with me here. Brendan Julian is one of the biggest clowns I've ever heard commentating. And I think it's Mark Waugh that's the other one. Like, together, they actually make me not want to watch, which is hard to do considering I will watch it on at any point in any game. But like those two together as a commentary team on Fox, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I'll be honest, I haven't heard, or I don't know too much about all the commentators and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Look, again, probably really nice guys. Probably great blokes.
it's nothing on them personally.
Nothing personal. It's just more, I think, their observations about the game and what they say is just mindless. And I know cricket takes up a lot of time and you got to fill the gaps. But honestly, that's not gap filling. That's just shit.
It's rubbish.
It's just rubbish. Sorry, that was a bit aggressive, but it is just rubbish.
It's rubbish.
It's no good. Like, go back to the drawing board, please. Try something new. I'm over it.
You heard it here
I'm
first.
rattled. Last point, really quick. I don't know if anyone's heard about this. Cody hadn't heard about it. Tom Brady, or retired and then unretired last season to keep continuous playing. To an unknown date. We don't. He's what 45 now.
Is he really?
Yeah, no one knows when he's actually going to
Does he
retire.
get tackled often?
Yeah, he gets sacked. Yeah, they call it a sack in like NFL.
Okay.
Um,
How's his overall like well-being? He
Good.
must still be in pretty good nick.
He is in great nick. The bloke is in great nick. Look, and like, what is it, like year 20 something for him? And still going pretty good. Like, he's plays for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're like going to be Super Bowl contenders this year.
Is that just because of him?
Yeah. But like any side with Tom Brady in it, they usually do pretty well just because he's so good
Yeah.
and he attracts other good players that want to play there.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's ultimately, the funny thing is that everyone's saying it's kind of cost him his marriage to his wife because he's like just playing football. So he's ultimately picked football over his like model wife of like 20 years, like 15 years or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
She was probably very happy he'd retired, I imagine.
Yeah. And then he decided to backflip. And then I think since then
So what's the point? That he's just upset his marriage?
that he's like literally chosen like to play footy.
Is this like a breaking news sort of thing going on?
No,
at the
this
moment?
happened like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Weeks ago. But this is like, he literally has chosen to play football, even though he
Over
like
it.
retired.
Yeah.
Then like
Over his
choosing-
family.
over his family, and like to have a life,
Interesting.
which is like crazy.
Yeah. He obviously dude, that adjustment period from being a professional athlete to not being one.
But it's crazy
It's
how
pretty
hungry
tough.
he must be to win still.
Oh yeah,
Like super competitor.
dude. Yeah, totally.
Like super like.
Well,
at
we've
40
seen what
at-
Michael Jordan and shit were like. So
Yeah, and like even LeBron as well, I'm sure would be the same. Like, but this bloke's 45, and he's still a very high level player, and he's literally just like, no, I'm sticking at it. I'm going. I don't care.
yeah.
I think he probably just is like, I want one more.
Mm.
Just crazy
Mm.
because he's got more rings than like some franchises.
How many does he have?
I think he's got.
It's like 6 or 7.
Does he have 6 or 7?
Something like that. We'll say 7. 7
Yeah.
sounds right in my mind.
Regardless, it's pretty wild.
It's impressive.
It's pretty wild.
It's pretty impressive.
Mm.
Don't think he could learn too much from Xander or I.
No, I think he's got it all covered. All right, song this week. Sorry, I'm going to wrap it up. Is that all right?
You can wrap it, dude.
I'm rapping.
Xander asking me for permission
Yeah,
to rap.
because I'm the beta of this podcast. Everyone knows
You said it, not me.
that. Song this week, Only You, Steve Monite.
Monite.
Great track.
What's the context of this? Because I liked it when you played it.
I found it on a friend's playlist,
Nice.
and then I liked it, and I just liked it, and I've been listening to it for a couple of weeks.
Dude, I've been doing the same thing. I've been Shazamming a bunch of songs from a playlist at work.
Yes,
I don't know whose playlist it is yet.
but it's fine.
Because you need to go downstairs and check the iPad, but I never do. I just Shazam the songs from upstairs. And I'm like, there's this one playlist I noticed where all these good songs come on like once every 2 weeks. So someone at my work is playing, and it's like all songs and artists I've never heard of. So it's so interesting. But
That's a good thing about FBI radio. If a good song comes on and you Shazam it, it's like usually like not. It's really usually unknown.
totally.
It's cool. All right. Well, that's a wrap. I have to get to uni. Cody has to
Edit the pod.
edit the pod, get into some fucking work. Get
Yeah.
into some real work. The bloke's an animal. He loves it. I'm Alexander.
My name's Cody.
We've got mic stands, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Na, na, na,